On today's edition of the Bluffton News, meet Bluffton's new Chief of Police, Joey Reynolds, and the American Heart Association talks about how they impact our community. Thank you for joining us for the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor. Let's kick things off with Bluffton's current headlines. Now that two of the region's largest hospitals have ended a dispute that threatened the creation of a $16 million medical complex in Bluffton, construction is expected to begin by year's end on Hilton Head Hospital's new outpatient center. The 60,000 square foot center planned along US 278 near Buck Island Road should open sometime in early 2014. The outpatient center's services will include digital imaging, digital mammography, primary care, and OB/GYN care. Plans for the center were announced in 2011, but were delayed after Beaufort Memorial Hospital and St. Joseph's Candler in Savannah challenged the proposal. Beaufort dropped its complaint soon afterward. Then earlier this month, St. Joseph's Candler dropped its opposition to Hilton Head Hospital's application for a certificate of need for the center. In return, Hilton Head Hospital stopped protesting St. Joseph Candler's acquisition of a CT scanner without a certificate of need. In a joint statement, CEOs of both hospitals said the agreement would give residents better access to quality care. A number of Bluffton nonprofit organizations are worried that they may soon see less money allotted to them for the town's quarterly bed tax funds. Mayor Lisa SULKA and some council members say the usual bed tax recipients need to make way for other potential applicants who may materialize as Bluffton continues to grow. The town also wants to put more of its tourism dollars into initiatives such as building parks and facilities for visitors. 19-year-old Robert Cornell pleaded guilty late last week to first-degree burglary, armed robbery, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime and was sentenced to 18 years in prison for his part in a home invasion in 2011. Cornell and 4 others are accused of kicking in the door of a home on 16th Street in Port Royal and brutally beating a 21-year-old man before stealing 2 televisions, guitars, and other electronics. In May, another suspect, 20-year-old Zachary Finley of Beaufort, pleaded guilty to armed robbery and possession of a weapon during a violent crime and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Judge Carmen T. Mullen presided over both cases, and according to state law, both men must serve at least 85% of their sentences. Cases against the 3 other suspects are pending. And Bluffton firefighters will serve barbecue from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. November 9th at Katie O'Donnell's on Fording Island Road during its 8th annual Boston Butts fundraiser. All proceeds benefit 7-year-old Leo Vanoni, who is diagnosed with leukemia. He's the son of an H.E. McCracken middle school teacher who is on leave to care for him. Whole bone-in 7-pound roasts are available for $35. Pulled pork's on sale for $12 a quart or $20 for 2 quarts. Hot dog and barbecue lunch platters will be served for $7 during the event, which will also feature music and kids' activities. The fire district seeks volunteers, items for a silent auction, and items for firefighters who have recently been deployed. The South Carolina Department of Revenue announced late last week that a cyber attack has exposed 3.6 million Social Security numbers and 387,000 credit and debit card numbers. While the vast majority of the credit cards are protected, 16,000 are unencrypted. The state is providing 1 year of credit monitoring and identity theft protection to anyone who's been affected by the attack. Governor Nikki Haley said in a news release following a news conference that officials are taking immediate steps to protect the taxpayers of South Carolina. But it isn't the first time South Carolinians' personal information has been stolen from a state agency. In April, the South Carolina Department of Health and Human Services discovered that an employee working within the Medicaid program had moved the personal information of 228,435 Medicaid beneficiaries into his personal email account. Jasper County Council unanimously approved a resolution that would allow the county to perform random drug tests on its employees. The proposal to adopt a list of positions designated as safety sensitive that would be subjected to the drug screens was presented by County Administrator Andrew Fulham. Random drug testing will be implemented for detention center employees, emergency services, public works, which includes building maintenance and road crews, and Fulham said the sheriff's office has volunteered to allow for testing. Fulham said he'd volunteer in the testing and he'd like to eventually have all county employees be available for drug testing. Fulham said not listing safety-sensitive positions had been an oversight when the personnel policy was recently updated. Now let's take a look at what's happening around the state. Authorities were called to an airport in Chester, about 50 miles southwest of Charlotte, North Carolina, late Sunday morning, where a skydiver had reportedly made a hard landing. The skydiver, whose name has not yet been released, was airlifted to Carolinas Medical Center in Charlotte, where he later died. According to Chester County Emergency Management Director Eddie Murphy, the accident had nothing to do with the plane that was used. The jump was coordinated through a company called Skydive Carolina. General Manager James LaBerry said that the man was an experienced skydiver who had a perfectly good parachute. There was no equipment malfunction. Sheriff Bruce Bryant and Marvin Brown, commander of a countywide drug enforcement unit, are being sued over video gaming machines. A video game company says officers confiscated its machines after a judge had declared them legal. In another suit, a Rock Hill business owner says deputies threatened to arrest him to try to keep him from operating the machines. Bryant and Brown say the officers were following the lead of state police and prosecutors who had said the machines were illegal. Video poker was outlawed in South Carolina 12 years ago. Operators say the new machines are technically legal and operate on chance. For more information on these headlines and more, check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. When we come back, we've got the Beaufort Business Report, and Allie McNair will take the helm to interview Beaufort County Treasurer Doug Henderson for a special Beaufort County update.
This smoked chipotle burrito is really good.
Yeah, my zesty cheesesteak burrito's great.
Are you familiar, Pete, with the phrase, don't mess with success?
Yeah.
Because this is not only messing with success, this is taking success to the cliff and shoving success over.
Success said, oh, please, don't do anything, leave me alone.
These burritos didn't even hear that. They heard, oh, put, and that was it. It was just like, wah. Egg everywhere.
Wake up to sirloin steak and fluffy eggs with the new zesty cheesesteak and smoked chipotle breakfast burritos. This is how you Sonic.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Shellie West-Hodges has been hard at work this week putting together the Bluffton Business Report.
2, 3. Cheese. You get Lynn? Hi, it is a beautiful downtown Bluffton day, and I'm here at Tabby Chic for their grand reopening and ribbon cutting. And with me is Rodney Vaughn, owner and operator and fellow Blufftonian. Rodney, tell us a little bit about your business and your history here with Bluffton. Thanks, Shellie. I've been in Bluffton 4 years now, and Tabby Chic has been open for over a year. Now, I used to be located on Pritchard Street, and I recently moved to the Bluffton Town Village, which is near the downtown deli. Tabby Chic Boutique is a ladies' clothing store. I have shoes, jewelry, accessories, as well as wonderful items for the home and great gift items too. Well, it's a great store, and on top of being a great business owner and being down here in downtown Bluffton, you're very active in the community. Tell us a little bit about your community service here. Well, thanks, Shellie. Being involved in Old Town Bluffton is really important to me. I am the president of the Old Town Merchants Society, and that's a group of over 70 merchants in the Old Town Bluffton district, and we are responsible for a lot of the events that we have down in the Old Town district. And our events that are coming up are going to be in November. We have a great art walk, which is co-sponsored with SOBA, the Society of Bluffton Artists. And we have shopping all during that evening. And then in December, the first Saturday of December is the Christmas parade. And that's always a great event. Everybody fills the streets for that. And we'll have shopping after that as well. Well, that's great. And also, you are also a fellow Bluffton Rotarian. Tell us a little bit about your service with the Bluffton Rotary. I am. I'm very proud to be a Bluffton Rotarian. The Rotary Club is a great civic organization. We do lots of charity work for the community, and I'm very proud to be involved in that. Well, great. Rodney, I thank you for being here today and doing the ribbon cutting, and welcome back to the downtown area, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much, Shellie.
And businesses here in town, it's really important to be part of community service, and we look forward to more ribbon cuttings here in town and look forward to visiting Rodney at Tabby Chic. Back to you.
Doug, you're here with a special tax bill update. When exactly will the tax bills go out?
The tax bills will be going out online on November the 2nd, and the actual tax bills themselves will be mailed out around November the 8th.
And what are the ways in which taxpayers can make their payment for taxes due?
They can pay in several different ways. We have online payment, of course. They can pay by debit card or credit card. They can have their bank send an electronic check, or they may be able to come directly to one of our 3 office locations, or effective November the 8th, after the bills go out, they will be able to pay their payments at any of the 5 locations of BB&T within Beaufort County.
Are people going to see any changes in the actual bill itself?
Very little changes. They will note some minor changes. Some of the things that we've highlighted this year will be in red, and so that the people will take notice of those. Things like, if this is your installment payment, this is the final amount due, or if you are paying after November the 15th, we will not accept personal checks, things of that nature.
Let me ask you, what kind of feedback have you been getting as far as people being able to pay taxes at branch bank locations? It's been extremely positive. We have received many positive comments about being able to go to any of the 5 locations because it makes it much more convenient for them. And this year the bank is making some additional changes which will speed up the time that the people find necessary to spend into the bank. So they've made some changes in that regard, which will be very helpful to them. Well, Doug Henderson, I'm curious, as county treasurer, there's a referendum that'll be on the ballot asking if the county treasurer and the auditor should be appointed rather than elected. What's your viewpoint on that one? Well,
of course, I have a vested interest in this particular referendum, and I feel very strongly that it should remain as an elected position. Strictly from a strategic standpoint of separation of powers, and we are operating in 44 counties throughout the state in this same manner, and I think it should remain so.
Well, Doug Henderson, thank you so much. After the break, we'll meet Bluffton's new chief of police, and we'll also hear from the American Heart Association's Judy Caramello. Stay right there.
Tara's Men's Den, located beside Tara's Salon at the Moss Creek Village, is a full-service salon for men only. Open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We offer haircuts, color, highlights, waxing, and treatments for hair loss. No appointment necessary, so come enjoy a relaxing atmosphere for men only, and don't forget senior discounts every Wednesday. Call or visit us today. Our number is 843-837-5555.
Today on the Bluffton News, we have Chief Joey Reynolds here from the Bluffton Police Department. Chief, thank you for joining us on the Bluffton News.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Can you give us an idea, a little bit about your background in law enforcement?
Sure, I'd be glad to. At one point, I used to brag about how many years service I have. Now it's telling how old I am. So I've got over 30 years experience in law enforcement. I actually started my career in Sumter, South Carolina. I'm from Sumter originally and started as a dispatcher right out of high school. Moved to North Carolina in 1981, worked with a state agency there for over 20 years, and then I was a police chief in Lenoir, North Carolina for 8 years prior to coming here.
Well, let me ask you, how have the first 30 days been for you on the force so far?
Well, it's been pretty fast and furious. My wife and I have moved here and trying to acclimate ourselves with the community, and at the same time I'm trying to jump into the job full force. A lot of hours, have spent a lot of time meeting people in the community, getting to know the people around the police department. It's been a busy time, but it's been fun.
Well, it may be a little unfair to ask you this early on, but we're going to do it anyway. What do you see for the future of the Bluffton Police Department?
Well, I think a lot of that's going to depend on the future of the Bluffton community, and I think everything looks really a lot of potential here. As you all know, this area has the potential for an amazing amount of growth, and with that growth, the police department will have to grow too. So I think it's important now that we start building infrastructure at the police department and get ready to try and plan for the future.
Well, Chief, we want to wish you the best of luck in your new position, and thank you so much for joining us on the Bluffton News.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here and look forward to doing it again.
Great. And now I'm pleased to welcome Judy Caramello with the American Heart Association. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Allie.
Well, let me ask you, what kind of research advancements and advocacy is the AHA working on right now in South Carolina?
Well, it's really exciting because over the course of the years, the AHA has developed many research developments such as stents, bypass surgery, valve replacements, and what we're really working on now that we're constantly always funding researchers in the area to develop new things, but what's really exciting in the state is the advocacy. And in South Carolina, what we're currently working on is a couple big topics. One is we are trying to do a big push that every child that graduates high school in the state of South Carolina has to be CPR certified, which is really great because when you start looking at the numbers of the more people we can get certified in CPR and trained on using AEDs out in the community, if you start getting all those children graduating high school, you start looking at the numbers and all the lives that can be saved, and so that's a really big push in the state for that. And another thing we're doing in the state of South Carolina as far as advocacy is we are trying to get a law passed that every baby that is born in the hospital has to be tested for congenital heart defects, because I believe a lot of people grow up in life and don't know that they have heart problems, and there is testing that can be done on infants and newborns before they get dismissed from the hospital that would let the parents know that they have a heart condition. So I think that's really important.
Well, you mentioned advocating, and I'm curious with regards to people's heart health, what kind of laws are you looking at to get passed to really improve people's heart health here in South Carolina?
Well, we do have an advocacy program called You're the Cure, and we have people from every area, but we're always trying to get people to sign up for you'rethecure.org, and actually we're trying to get people to go to our legislators to get these laws passed. So, but we're doing other things. We have in the community in the Low Country, we have fit-friendly companies, and this is a national program that we do, that we try to get companies to encourage them to get their employees healthy, eating healthy choices in vending machines, and then we actually accredit them as fit-friendly companies by the AHA.
And we're almost out of time. I have time for one more question. What I'd like to do is ask you about Mission Lifeline. What is that? How does it impact our community?
Mission Lifeline is we have a full-time person within the AHA that actually works with EMS, and we try to get people to the quickest hospital emergency room, and we're trying to cut down on that balloon time of 90 minutes or less, which is key for a heart attack. So it's really a communication thing between doctors, EMS, emergency rooms, and getting people to the best possible area very quickly.
Well, I want to thank you so much for letting us know about the American Heart Association and its work in South Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you.
And when we return, we'll check back in with Anneliza. She'll have everyone's favorite entertainment reporter along with her, Rodney Vaughn. Stay right there.
Okay, so it's a romantic dinner for two. Now, I've already cut some tomato. Time for the vinaigrette. You are gonna love this. Okay, we need some sesame seeds, my favorite pan. Now, what's really important is
with Merillat cabinets, you'll discover function that's irresistible.
good thing I'm not the jealous type.
Welcome back. Just as we all look forward to Friday, so do we also look forward to Rodney Vaughn's entertainment report.
Thanks a lot. And I'm coming to you today from the May River Theater in downtown Bluffton. And joining me is Kelley, and she's just off the opening night of her directorial debut at the May River Theater. And the show we're featuring is The Fantasticks. And can you tell us a little bit about the background of The Fantasticks?
Well, it ran off Broadway for 40 years, so I think it's the longest running musical ever.
Wow.
Record breaking.
And it's different in the fact that there are not a lot of scene changes and there are not a lot of characters. It's kind of minimalistic, but you get the gist of it from the storyline.
Right. There are 8 leads in the show. The set remains the same, just a few changes here and there, but there's no set movement. So you really get lost in the characters. You know, and you don't have all of the distractions with the sets moving on and off.
Well, I was privileged to join you for the opening night of the show, and it really is a great show. And you mentioned the characters, the costumes also take a prominent role in the play. And this trunk that we're seated in front of has a lot of surprises that come out, and that just really takes you off guard. A couple of really colorful characters. Everyone in the show is very colorful. And like I'm proud to say that you mentioned that there's not a lead character. Everyone is as important as the other character.
Right.
And you do have some people that are seasoned actors here at the May River Theater and some new people that have joined you for the show.
Right.
So it really is a great blend of characters, you with your first direction and then a lot of people that have returned. But you've been in shows yourself here as well.
Right. Yeah. I think this is my 10th show, if you want to count that. Directing. Most recently, I was in the producers. So it's a nice change to not be on the stage and be able to actually share my opinions and
right, and they matter.
Yes, they're actually asking for my opinion. That's nice.
Right, instead of being in front of the stage.
Right.
Exactly. Well, we'd like for everyone to come out and see The Fantasticks at May River Theater in downtown Bluffton. And can you give us some information about the show dates?
Yes, we will run Fridays and Saturdays, and that starts at 8 o'clock. Sunday matinees at 3, and we will, let's see, our last show is Sunday, November 11th.
Okay, so we're running through the 11th.
Yes.
And you can get tickets at the box office, and you also can get tickets at the door the day of the show. They're $20, and that's going to be with cash or check. And we'd love to see you guys come on out and see the show. It is a really, really great show. And meet Kelley and everyone at the May River Theater. And thanks a lot, Kelley, for joining me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And back to you.
Allow me now to introduce you to the Bluffton News Pet of the Week. Hector is approximately 1 to 2 years old and is very friendly and outgoing. In classic beagle fashion, he is a connoisseur of all things aromatic and so is always eager to explore the great outdoors. Found wandering on a busy road, Hector doesn't seem to mind the safety and security that a warm bed and caring hands provide. For more information on Hector and other adoptable pets, call Brookshaven Animal Rescue at 843-757-7387. Thanks for watching the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor. We'll see you next time.